Hi, my name is Wendy, type 1 for 46 years. I've been using a pump for about 21 years, and just about 4 weeks ago, I made the decision to transfer over to the T-Slim. And there's a little bit of a learning curve on changing the infusion set and the cartridge, but after a couple of weeks, it's going a bit smoother. Wanted to make this short video for your new users to try to help you through the learning curve. So I hope this video brings value. First off, I'm gonna get my room temperature Humalog insulin and my alcohol swab I already have ready to go and clean that off. Now, I've already changed my infusion set because I like to do that step first. So I've got my insulin and I'm gonna take my syringe and the needle and attach those two together. And to make sure that I get the right amount of insulin in there, I'm gonna grab my handy dandy reading glasses and go ahead and put air into the syringe. I always struggled with air bubbles with my last pump, but I learned some nifty tricks to try to help with that. I take about 17 units a day, so I'm gonna go ahead and put in a little bit more than 100 units. Take the cap off. Got my insulin, and putting the bottle upright and the syringe facing down, I'll go ahead and put the syringe in there, push the plunger, and then immediately I'm gonna flip the bottle over while holding the plunger. I wanna trap the air in there. Now when I release the plunger, you might not be able to see this, but the plunger is going down and putting in about the same amount of insulin as I injected air in there. Sometimes you may have to pull the plunger back just a little bit, but this one is moving nicely. So I've got a little bit more than I need. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little flick to ensure that I get those nasty air bubbles out. But don't worry, if you have a few, it's really okay because we're gonna go through several steps. So, all right, my insulin is in there. I take the bottle off, and now I've got my cartridge. Okay, I'm gonna take the cartridge and we're going to take the air out of that cartridge, out of that little hole right there. So go ahead and put the needle right in there. And while holding I put my fingers right about there, I'm gonna pull this plunger back, and I'm gonna pull the plunger back all the way to 300 units. And here we go, it's going all the way back. And once it gets to that 300 units, I'm gonna let that plunger go, and it should hit right to the bottom of the amount of insulin we put in there. Now I'm gonna pull the syringe out, put the cartridge down, and you may see a couple of air bubbles, and that's okay. You have a couple of choices here. One, my trainer Larry, who I love, showed me this nifty trick. You take the syringe and you swoosh it around, and I think that's the technical term that she came up with. That should release all those air bubbles that may be holding onto the side of the syringe. You can again give it a couple of taps, and if you see anything that you're not sure about, you can put the syringe back into the bottle and just shoot any unwanted air bubbles back into that insulin bottle. Good. Wow, that looks awesome. No air bubbles whatsoever. I'm super excited. I'm gonna grab the cartridge. I'm gonna just put this little tubing off to the side, put the needle right into that hole, and I'm gonna push the plunger down. Now you may feel just a little bit of resistance, but that's okay. So go ahead and push the plunger in. And when you get to the bottom of the insulin, you're gonna go ahead and hold that plunger down, okay? You do not wanna release that yet. And now I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect these two, pull the cartridge out, and go ahead, I can take my finger off the plunger. And check that out. Easy peasy, a cartridge in less than 5 minutes filled up with no air bubbles. So again, thank you. I hope this video was helpful.